the pathway to getting to the World Cup is in my opinion, is very simple. It's long hours, it's hard work, and it's incredibly an incredibly dedicated athlete. The biggest mistakes I think young athletes and coaches, not young coaches, but coaches make is they don't understand that the ski needs to be smooth. The running surface, the base needs to be smooth. The sidewalls need to be smooth. Whether it's a phenolic sidewall or whether it's an ABS sidewall, they have to be cut and they have to be smoothed all the time, every night. So when you prepare those skis, that ski has to feel, you can't have a burr on that ski anywhere. You can't have a burr on the edge, you can't have a burr running on the base surface, you can't have a burr running on the top sheet of the ski or the sidewall of the ski. It all has to be smooth. Spyder used to make, and they still do make, coaching pants, and if you opened up the bib on the zipper up here and you looked in, it said hundredths matter. And I don't think there's a better adage ever spoken than that. Hundredths matter. And those hundredths come from the preparation and the time that you spend with the ski. A ski doesn't have to be really, really sharp, but it has to be very clean. The edge has to be really smooth. There's a reason why surgeons don't use serrated edges in a scalpel, because they don't cut cleanly. This is the reason why you have your skis absolutely, I mean, sharp and smooth. And smooth is in my opinion, even more critical than sharp. Your ski setup for those younger levels, U10, U12, U14, for example, and particularly at U10 and U12, get the ski set up so that it'll ski in virtually all conditions. I'm not going to prepare a ski for a U10 athlete the same way as I prepare a ski for a FIS or an athlete that's going to NORAMs, for example, or Europa Cup. And that goes for U12 and U14 and U16 as well. The key element is recognizing that each one of those levels has different requirements and different needs. If I prepare to ski for a U10 athlete the same way I prepare a ski for a FIS level athlete, it would be unskiable for that U10 or U12 athlete. We have to recognize that each of those levels need different, how we detune the ski, how we prepare the ski, the angles that we use, and we'll talk about angles in a little bit here. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that when we prepare skis at each of those levels, we recognize what those needs are for those individual athletes and for those individual age groups. Ski preparation, when it comes to the long-term athlete development plan or document, has to match up with those individual levels. It has to match up with skill level, with I'll call it the physiology of the athlete. It has to match up with the ski construction, and it has to match up with where they're skiing and how they're skiing. We often get asked by a number of parents and other people, I want to have team skis for my kid. My kid needs to have team skis. As a U14, U16 athlete, if you look at a team ski compared to what those kids can purchase and what those kids can get, it's night and day. The team skis are built for guys that are, particularly on the men's side, they're built for men that are 225 pounds, and they've got 34-inch thighs. They're big men, and they're strong and they're powerful, and they've got huge core development and muscular development, and they've been doing it for years and years, and they can bend that ski, they can flex that ski, and they can make that ski work. We get asked a lot about base bevel, for example. That seems to be one of the big sticking points with ski preparation. Base bevel and side angle, edge angle. When we get a ski from a manufacturer right out of the box, the base bevel has already been set at the factory. So this base bevel is set, and typically it's set at 0.5 of a degree. Okay, so if you looked, what is 0.5 of a degree? Well, 0.5 of a degree is the thickness of 2 human hairs stacked up on one another. To get the maximum performance out of this ski, for example, we don't change what the manufacturer recommends. You get your first pair of slaloms at U12, for example, a designated slalom ski. Not a multi-event, but a designated slalom ski. You'll probably get them at U12. Those skis will come set up at probably 0.75 from the manufacturer. The only thing that we'll set up a little differently is we'll put a little more bite on the edge, we'll sharpen the edge and then polish it and cut the sidewalls and things like that. But base bevel we leave from the manufacturer. When it comes back in to be reground or re-prepared, the way we've got the machine set up, we can match the manufacturer's specifications to bring that ski back to life, if you will. You can't put base bevel back on unless you grind the ski. So if the ski has been skied a lot, it's been skied on hard surfaces a lot, it'll go from 0.5 to probably 0.75 or even 0.8. In some cases, I've seen skis that have been side slipped on a lot. Then it's time to get it reground and get it reset. It's no different than getting the shoes on your horse reset. At some point in time, you got to get the ski essentially brought back to specifications, factory spec. The reason you have a grind in the base of a ski is to reduce the coefficient of friction. It dissipates a little bit of water, but it reduces the coefficient of friction. When you look at skis that are well ground, that are ground properly, they simply work better. Skis that are poorly ground, that are overground, or the grind is too deep, or the structure is too big, they're really difficult to ski on. They'll make a noise, for example. A great big deep grind, in most snow conditions will actually hum or buzz. I think one of the key components that we have to recognize is that the grind doesn't make the ski. It's what we do afterwards to the ski that makes it really skiable and really enjoyable to ski and brings it up to its maximum performance level. The machine is one component of producing a quality product. You can go and fiddle around with all the parameters for grinding, the pressures, the speeds, the feed speed, the depth of the diamond, the depth of the cut, the RPMs of the stone. All of those components are part of producing a quality product. And it takes a long time to learn what is and what isn't a quality product coming off a machine. The Wintersteiger Mercury, for example, is a great all-around tool. Now, the way we've set our Mercury up differently than most of the shops in the country. We use a little different setup with our machine because we know that we do a lot of very high-end skis here, and because of that, we're able to produce a really good product. We can match a lot of the factory grinds, and we know how to program that machine now. And it's taken some time. It's taken some time to learn what those parameters are. It's taken some time to learn how to build that consistency. But we're at a stage now where we have that repeatability, and we can put out that quality product time and time again. Find a brand that you're comfortable with. Find a brand and learn that brand. And it doesn't matter what manufacturer it is, but learn learn that manufacturer, learn that brand. I'm partial to one particular brand that I use all the time because I've learned it. I've learned what works. I've learned where it works and how it works, and I've learned how to maximize that particular brand of wax. If your athlete is 2/10 out every run, is close, but needs that little extra boost, then you can start considering high fluoro waxes. But learn what they do, learn what the parameters of them are, and learn how to use them properly. You're better off to wax your skis every time you ski. Get them home, dry them off, wax them, scrape them, and brush them so they're ready to go the next day. You're going to get better results in the long run than if you take a $250, $300 jar of powder and dump it on. When we're talking about wax and we're talking about service kits, service boxes, wax comes in a sealed plastic container, and so wax is always clean. Two things. One, wax, if you're not using it, always stays in the plastic container and it's not mixed in with the rest of your tools. Two, before you wax your skis each night, before you wax your skis after each training session, you need to go and you need to wash your hands and clean any of the dirt and residual stuff off. Don't be eating food in the wax room to get the grease on your hands and things like that. A clean working environment produces great skis. It's just that simple.